But how will all of that impact our own markets? Our research team is joining in with the trade setup, the stocks that are likely to be in focus, and of course the setup on the F&O side of things as well. Firstly, Vamakshi, tell us what are the important market cues that you are watching out for after that absolutely stellar session that we had yesterday?
Absolutely, Hormaz. A very strong session is what we had yesterday. The bulls made a roaring comeback in the last few hours of trade. The Nifty, in fact, recovered almost 550 points from the day's lowest point and crossed the 25,000 mark for the first time since October 17, 2024. The broader markets, they continued to do well. The advance decline ratio was largely in favor of the advances, with the advance decline ratio at 2:1. But it is actually the mid cap and the small cap, both of these indices, they sort of underperformed the benchmark index. Nifty mid cap was up 0.7%, while the small cap index was up 0.5%. As far as sectoral indices are concerned, most of them were in the green. Nifty Auto, Realty gained almost 2% each. They were the top sectoral gainers. In the week so far, Nifty Metal has, developed a very good sheen. It has gained over 9% so far. Defense stocks, they continue to charge ahead. Defense stocks have gained for the 5th straight session. In fact, in yesterday's trading session, we saw big moves coming on Astra Microwave, Cochin Shipyard, as well as Zentech. As far as the trading session today is concerned, we'll be keeping an eye out on the earnings of Hyundai Motor, BHEL, Delivery, as well as Emami. The Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal will be traveling to Washington on May 16, that is today, to lead high-level talks with US officials on a proposed bilateral trade agreement. So that will be another important factor to watch out for. On the upside, for the Nifty, the resistance lies at 25,250. On the downside, the support comes in at 24,800. Let's also look at what the GIFT Nifty is indicating. As of now, it's indicating a strong start to the trading session today.
It's interesting there, Vamakshi. Thanks a lot for that. And over to Vinny now, who would list out the stocks that you need to watch out for in today's session. Vinny, good morning.
Good morning. So firstly, starting with IndusInd Bank, the Internal Audit Department, obviously the company had informed that they were conducting a review of its MFI business to examine certain concerns. Now, on 8th of May, there was a report that came out that said and noted that 674 crores was incorrectly recorded as interest over 3 quarters of FY25. And this is what the bank has also said. So keep an eye out on IndusInd Bank. RVNL, they bagged an order of around 116 crore rupees from Central Railway, so we could see a bit of an up move on that front. JSW Energy, on the back of its numbers, is going to be in focus. Weakness in terms of operational performance coming in from the company. Net profits see a growth of around 16%, revenues up by 15.7%, but margins, that's seen a contraction, 37.8% versus 42.4%. So operational weakness, maybe we could see a bit of a red on the stock. We have Medanta, that's in focus as well, that's Global Health. Q4 numbers, steady quarter coming in for the company, growth of 15%, margins at 24.1% versus 22%, so keep an eye out on that one. Newland Lab, weak performance coming in for the company in Q4. We are seeing the profits are down by around 59%, revenue down by 15% as well, and margins also seeing a sharp contraction, 15.5% versus just 27.8% last year, so sharp contraction on that front. LT Foods, good set of numbers coming in from the company, at least on the top line and the bottom line front, a growth of around 7 to 8% that we're seeing there, but margins slight bit of a pressure there, so keep an eye out on that. Crompton, 22% growth in terms of the profits, 5% growth in terms of revenues, margin seeing around a 200 basis point expansion. We could see a bit of an up move on that front. Bikaji Foods, on the other hand, a weak set of numbers coming in from the company, pressure in terms of the margins, revenues, as well as the profits of the company. And Allied Blenders, good set of numbers, revenue growth of around 20%, margin seeing an improvement, 14.8% versus 7.8%. So 700 basis point expansion in terms of margins. Could see a bit of a green here.
Keep an eye out on all of these names. There are plenty of earnings reactions that we need to watch out for today. Vinny, thanks a lot for that. And lastly, Sudarshan joins in with cues from the F&O space. Sudarshan, good morning. It was a wonderful session yesterday, but what's the F&O data indicating to you today?
What a session it was. So just one day ahead of the weekly expiry, we were talking about that data was turning negative and it might be a limited upside for market from here on. But just in 2 days, data has turned opposite direction. Now all the data that you will see are indicating that market might have further upside from here. And talk about yesterday's session, what a recovery we saw. And it was largely led by buying that we have seen in the large caps, and FI's buying also indicate in the same direction. So for today, despite the subdued global cues, we are seeing that GIFT Nifty is indicating a start with healthy gains. Now talking about the flows, FIs bought more than rupees 5,300 crore, while DIs have sold nearly 1,700 crore. Even in the index futures, we saw FIs buying almost rupees 4,000 crore, and they have added long positions of more than 13,200 contracts and reduced short positions of 8,000 contracts. And with this, their FIs long exposure now is around 46%. On the option front, one call that has seen healthy addition is 26,000 after the big recovery we saw yesterday. 26,000 call has seen addition of 43 lakh shares, and their premium is just 7 rupees, and 25,500 call has seen addition of almost 20 lakh shares. On the put side, now 25,000 put has seen addition of nearly 35 lakh shares, and their premium was 177. Levels for Nifty, support is 24,800 and resistance is around 25,200, and 3 stocks remain in the band.
Well, thank you so much for that, Sudarshan.